hold on. Let's just give the allowance of 3 more minutes for people to come in and settle down. By exactly 4:10 p.m., we'll kickstart the program. You are all welcome. Thank you. Yes, it's 4:10 p.m. on the dot, and I think we are good to kickstart the program at this hour. Once again, you are all welcome to the Awareness Forum for ICAN student members, a session put together by Joint Minds Academy and arm of Joint Minds International that is charged with student education support. The mission of the Academy is to provide support to members of the Joint Minds Club who wish to be qualified members of ICAN. We also welcome non-GM members that are on this call with a desire to learn the rudiments of ICAN examinations. The objective of this program is that it has been noticed that many students of ICAN do not have the necessary and prerequisite information regarding the exams they are registering for. And by that, the foundation is not even well laid out. Through this program, necessary awareness will be needed to ride on with ICAN exams will be passed out through this session. I'm LGM Tosin Akinwumi, FCA, and I'll be anchoring this session for today. Now we'll be having the club song. This is Joint Minds International, and we have a song. We'll be having the club song. Can we have the club song, please? Club song. Let there be love in our eyes. Lay down your love, sweep this nation. Cause I'm so long to arise. Give us a fresh understanding of brotherly love that is here. Let there be love shared among us. Let there be love. Jim.
One love.
One love.
Jim.
One love.
Thank you very much. Because we have it recorded, I can see members did not sing along. Yes, you are welcome one more time to this session, and quickly we'll move. Please, as a rule of engagement on the platform, it is advisable that all those on this call will mute their speakers when they are not talking. So please mute your speakers when you are not talking so that we can have a peaceful environment for the session. Quickly, I want to recognize my lead doyen and chairman of GMI Council, who is presently on this call, person of LGM Toby Abiola FCA, FCTI. Following is my family system board chairman, Okoyem FSB chairman, LGM Benga Midi GFCA. You're welcome, sir. We appreciate all GMI Council who are present in this gathering, and special recognitions also to the members of the GMI Academy management team for the good job of putting this together. And starting with is my able registrar, LGM Abosede Ogunjobi FCA CTI. You're welcome. LGM Amos Tomemo FCA FCTI, LGM Olusegun Ishola FCA, LGM Abiodun Adams FCA, LGM Tosin Akinyomi FCA, LGM Dr. Lanre Olasunkanmi ACA FCTI, LGM Idris Olayinka Bello ACA, LGM Kudus Balogun ACA, LGM Kabiru Yusuf ACA, and LGM Temitope Olatunji. Special appreciation to you all for the good job you have done in putting this together. Please, for our able audience, please let's go to the chat box and register our attendance. For GM members in the house, drop your name, your school, your set, and lineage number on the chat box as a means of registering your attendance. Your name, your school, set, and lineage number on the chat box. And for non-GM members, your name and email address is sufficient for you to register your attendance. Name and email address is sufficient for you to register. Quickly, let me just mention to you that when we reach the maximum limit for this Zoom, we'll be taking the overflow to our YouTube channel. So you'll be getting the notice the same way you have gotten this notice. Please, you can pass it across to others who will not be able to join us when we reach the maximum limit that they can join through our YouTube channel. On this note, I want to quickly welcome the Director of Professional Service, LGM Olusegun Ishola, as he gives his opening address. LGM Segun Ishola, sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you, LGM Tosin. Thanks so much, and good evening, everyone. My name is LGM Olusegun Ishola, a current Director of Professional Services for the Joint Minds International. To start with, we established the protocols. I want to start by the lead doyen, LGM Toby Abiola, and the chairman of council. The FSV chairman, family systems board chairman, LGM Benga Midiji, they are present. The council members within us, the GMI Academy, distinguished guests, friends of JM, members, life members, and our friends that are joining this call. We want to appreciate your presence and we thank you for joining us. This is the awareness session, the first of its kind in a series that we have planned in our quest for supporting the aspiration of potential chartered accountants. Joint Minds International, we pride ourselves in the fact that we are concerned with academic, social, and professional excellence. Excellence in whatever we do. That is what we pride ourselves in. And as part of contribution, we'll be holding this awareness session for intending ICAN members, students, some of who are joining us here. And this is going to be an ongoing event. We mentor a lot of students. We provide leadership guidance in ICAN examination. I want to implore us to enjoy the session, take as much as we can. It's going to be a buffet. We have quite on the lineup seasoned professionals in various areas of accounting endeavors that are going to be distilling and drilling down the ICAN syllabus, intimate us of new developments in the ICAN examinations, the key that unlocks success, all together to provide guidance for students in their quest to becoming chartered accountants. It's not time for much talk, just to welcome us on the flight and hope that we will take as much as we can as the session progresses. Thank you very much, and do have an educative and insightful time.
Thank you so very much, my able Director of Regional Service, for that opening address. Now, one more time, as a rule of engagement on Zoom link, I want to please plead on all on this call to please mute their mic when they are not speaking, so that we can have a peaceful and quiet environment for this session. Now, I will quickly want to invite my lead doyen, LGM Toby Abiola, FCA, FCTI, for his welcome address. My lead doyen, sir, you're welcome, sir.
Good evening, everybody. JM.
One love.
One
Thank you
love.
very much. Yeah.
One love, sir.
I thank God for today, at least for spending our lives and making it possible for us to have this function. The JM Academy. I want to say that's a good innovation because it will help the young ones to fulfill their dreams and aspirations. This is a well thought of program, and I pray that at the end of the day, the thoughts will match reality. Our expectation will be equal to the outcome. Once again, I welcome you all, and please have a beautiful deliberation. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, my able lead doyen, for that brief address. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, sir. God bless you for us. Now we are going to the business of the day. But before then, we also have the FSB chairman on this call, our family system board chairman on this call, who will also quickly want to give us a word of encouragement, particularly for the ICAN students in our midst. I have the honor to invite the FSB chairman, LGM Benga Omidiji FCA, for his welcome note, sir.
Good evening, everyone. The lead doyen and the chairman of the GMI International Council and the honorary treasurer of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, LGM Toby Abiola, FCA, FCTI, other council members in attendance, the registrar and members of the GMI Academy Board, professional colleagues, aspiring professional colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I want to welcome you and to wish every one of us a successful evening. The program has been put together by the approval of the GMI Council, and hopefully, just like the leader has said, the reality will meet with the plans and aspirations. Once again, if I have any other thing to say, that will be probably at the end of the program. Let the program continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, my FSB chairman, for that. We really appreciate it. Now, quickly, we want to go to the main business of the day, and that is the awareness forum. Like I mentioned during the introduction, that there are basic things that aspiring chartered accountants need to know while they are preparing to write ICAN exams, and that is what GMI Academy has brought to our homes so that we can learn. Quickly, I have the pleasure to invite the paper presenter for today. But before then, I will mention that please, if you have questions, drop it in the box, chat box, so that we can pick your questions after the session. And those who are also coming in newly, please also drop your attendance. JM members should drop their attendance by writing their names, institution, set, lineage number, while non-JM members on this call should drop their names and email address. That is sufficient for their attendance. Once again, please let us maintain quietness by muting our mic so that we can have a quiet and peaceful session. I'll hand over now to the paper presenter in person of LGM, Kudus Balogun, to go ahead with the presentation. Over to you, Kudus.
Good evening, everyone. I trust you have been having an interesting day so far. Permit me to stand on the existing protocols. And today, in the next few minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, I'll be taking us through the awareness session. But then before we start, permit me to use this favorite quote of mine by John Maxwell, which says, "Success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potentials, and sowing seeds that benefit others." And this is the framework that we'll be building this discussion on. So before you go in to say you want to start an ICAN program, the first set of things you need to ask yourself is that, what are my purpose? Why do I want to start the program? That's the first set of things you need to ask yourself. Why do I actually want to start this program? What purpose will this program serve in my life? Yeah, so you want to become a chartered accountant, and then for what? After being a chartered accountant, what's next? Being a chartered accountant, will it help you to grow to reach your maximum potential? And then will it also help you to sow seeds that will benefit others? And of course, we all need to take note that success is a journey and not a destination. So even after ICAN, or after successfully registering to write or to start the program and you successfully complete the program, that's not the end. There's still more. So I'll be taking us through this. So here is our table of content. We'll be looking at categories of membership of ICAN, registration process, the two categories, which includes the ATS scheme, that's accounting technician scheme, and the professional levels. We'll be looking at the structure of the new syllabus, the exemption process, the fees involved. Of course, many people will say ICAN is very expensive. Trust me, ICAN is like one of the cheapest professional exams you see out there. Also, we'll be looking at the credit system, which is the pass mark in ICAN examinations, the tuition centers, and then the relevant materials for you while you are preparing for the exam. Also, this one of the key reasons for this awareness is because of some of the things that some of us are not aware of in terms of information. And as we all know now, information is key, and then information is value. So one of the reasons why for putting this together is so that we can also enlighten us as regard the ICAN scholarship scheme. So many students are not aware of this. So I'll be taking us through this as well. Then we will also discuss recent circulars by ICAN, and then we can conclude subsequently. So while we move on, sorry, please let me mute our mic, please. So while we move on again to reintroduce JMI Academy, Joint Minds International Academy. JMI is an arm of Joint Minds International, and Joint Minds International is built or has been built on a bedrock of towards academic, social, and professional excellence. That is excellence in what we do. And part of our mission is to ensure that we instill and prepare students to become chartered accountants right from while they are undergraduates or while they are graduates as well. So we support students who are willing to become chartered accountants tomorrow, guide them, and then nurture them to become professional chartered accountants. So permit me to use my personal story to take us through the slides. So I'll start with while registering for ICAN, that is the categories of ICAN membership. So there's the student member. I was once a student member. There's the graduate member. I was once a graduate member. And then finally, there is you being an associate chartered accountant, or you being a fellow chartered accountant, ACA and FCA respectively. Yeah, the journey is not a bed of roses, of course. So before you can start to say you want to become an ACA or FCA, you have to go through some processes, which include you registering as an ICAN student member. That's the first stage in the category of membership. So part of the things that people find difficult is that they claim to say ICAN is very expensive. Yeah, maybe because of the situation of things in the country, we can say ICAN is very expensive. But then ask other colleagues writing ACCA and other international exams. In fact, CIPM, ANAN, and the likes, you find out that ICAN is like the cheapest of all, and yet brings you like one of the best values. So to register, part of the things that students first to do is to say that they don't have money. But then this is how it works. It's not just about money. It's about your mentality first. You have to have that, you have to make that decision that, yes, I want to become a chartered accountant. And this was how I started. So when I started then, I started with my ND in accounting. After I graduated with ND in accounting, I wanted to go back to school for my BSc through direct entry. But then it wasn't, unfortunately, but fortunately now, it didn't go through. So after my IT then, so I was earning just 10,000 naira during my IT while I interned in a small and medium-sized accounting firm. I was paid 10,000 naira. So listen to my story carefully. Then the overall picture is to become a chartered accountant, of course, for someone studying accounting, and for someone who actually wants to become a chartered accountant, the overall picture is to become a chartered accountant, right? So I started by interning with a small size audit firm where I was paid 10,000 naira with my OND in accounting. Yeah, so after I started, I couldn't even save. Now to go back to school, the admission process didn't work. And that was when I was hinted on the fact that I don't have to become a BSc graduate or HND graduate before I even start my ICAN program. I was wowed. So ever since, my knowledge has always been that you have to be done with your HND or BSc before you can start the program. So I decided to start making inquiries about how to start this program as someone with OND, and this will lead us to the registration process of ICAN. So there are two ways. There's the you coming in as an ND or as an undergrad. So as an undergraduate now, while you are coming in as an undergraduate, you'll be starting from the accounting technician scheme of ICAN. Then while you are coming in as a graduate, either a BSc or HND holder, you will be starting from the professional level. This ATS contains of three stages, the ATS 1, 2, and the level 3, of course. As an ND graduate, then I was to start with level 3. Then I started, I have to start to write ICAN, but then there was no money, financial constraints. Trust me, what did I do first was to start studying. Even when I know that I don't have the money. It was 2017. The exam was in March. And it was January when I decided that I wanted to write ATS 3 so that at least I can also improve my standard of living. 10,000 naira can't even take me to the end of the month and what have you. So what I started doing was to start preparing for the exam ahead of time. I don't even know how I will get the money, but then I trust that one way or the other, I will get the money. So what I did was to start preparing for the exam. I started preparing for the exam, and before you know it, I was confident enough to tell people that I want to write so and so exam, and I've been preparing. So it was easy for them to also help me. And because of financial constraints, I couldn't even go for tutorial. So I had to resign my job and sat home for 3 months to write the exam. So I prepared fastidiously, like morning, day, afternoon, night. You have to prepare for the exam. You know, it's different from the usual school exam. And now you have to prepare very, very hard to pass because of everything you've been hearing outside, the information, ICANN is tough. It's not, yeah, it can be very tough. And at the same time, if you have the right, if you have access to the right information, you find it easy. In fact, easier than expected. So to cut the long story short, I got the support I needed to write the exam, and I wrote the exam. I passed the papers at once, my ATS3. So as an ND holder from an ICANN accredited school, you are going to start from ATS3 instead of ATS1. So while you are doing the registration for undergraduates now, you'll be starting from, if you are SSC holder, a minimum of 5 credits, including your English and mathematics. Not necessarily you have accounts, but including your English and mathematics. And ICANN is open to all students, regardless of your background, whether arts, commercial, or science. It's open to everybody. And that's why 5 credits with a minimum of with your English and mathematics. So when you start, that's for ND holders, that's national diploma. For SSC holders, you start from ATS1, that's from scratch, ATS1, then you progress to ATS3. For ND holders from ICANN accredited schools, you start from ATS3. While for other disciplines, you start from ATS2, ND holders now. So, and then it is believed that ATS holders, that's accounting technician scheme, certification holders. ATS is governed by ATSWA, ATSWA, accounting technician, AATWA, Association of Accounting Technician West Africa, AATWA. Yeah. So for you to become a member of AATWA, or if you are a member, it is believed that you have an equivalent competence and technical know-how with a BSc and HND holder. And this was actually true. Back to my story. Once I was done with my ICANN program in March, I started looking for a job again. Before you know it, I got a job. From 10,000 naira, I got a 500% increase in the next job I got. And that was like 50-something thousand naira from 10,000 naira as an ND holder. And I was practically considered for this job because I have written my ICANN ATS3 exam. The general manager of the company outrightly told me this, that they were looking for HND or BSc, but then they've never had to employ an ND accountant before now in that organization, but they had to pick me because of the fact that I have a sound level of technical know-how, and then I have written my ICANN ATS3 exam. That's supposed to mean that my technical know-how will be much more greater than the BSc and HND holders. Yeah, and I proved that right, really. So that's by the side in terms of registering for the exam. So for the other part of it, which is the professional level now, and this is for graduates. The professional level is for graduates. We also have 3 levels in this professional level. We have the foundation level, we have the skills, and then we have the professional. The foundation level is for graduates graduates from other fields without accounting background. So as a graduate from other fields, you can also register for ICANN if you are interested in becoming a chartered accountant. And then you start from foundation, so you get to the professional level. As for the ICANN accredited institute graduates who has attended schools that has ICANN accredited institutions that are ICANN accredited institutions, you are going to be starting from skills, and then you go to professional. And also there are some with another level of exemption. When we get there, we'll address that. So in terms of registration, these are the documents needed for the registration: your O-level results, your HND or BSc or ATS statement of results or certification. So in terms of the ATS, so this is how ICAN works. If you are starting from scratch, that is ATS, accounting technician scheme. If you are starting from there, by the time you become an associate accounting technician, you won't have to write the foundation level. Then you can progress to the professional level, starting from applied skills. So when you are starting from applied skills, and that's why we've said initially that you are having an ATS or AAT, accounting technician, or you being an accounting technician is competently equivalent to you having a BSc or HND degree. And that's why when you are registering for your professional exam with your ATS, you can proceed to the ICAN professional level. So, and then you need your passport photograph, your birth certificates for graduates in terms of BSc, HND, your NYSC call-up letter, and your transcript, academic transcript. So in terms of the structure of the syllabus of ICAN program, so these should be focusing more on the professional level. So we have the foundation, which includes topics like business management and finance, financial accounting, management information, business law. And for the foundation level, we have the skills level, which also has 6 papers in it. And then we have the professional level with 5 papers. So, and that's that. So for the exemption process, back to the exemption process now. So back to my story, as an OND graduate from an ICAN accredited institution, of course, I mentioned that I wrote my ATS 3. So because I was an ICAN accredited institution graduate, I had to start from ATS 3, skipping ATS 1 and 2. So, and that was required. So for the exemption process, as an AAT, that's accounting technician, as an AAT, associate accounting technician. So, sorry, please mute your mic if you're not talking. As an AAT, you also have exemptions to benefit from. So following the new syllabus released in March 2021, here are the exemptions details. BSc and HND in accounting from ICAN accredited institution, you are going to be starting from skills level. However, instead of writing 6 papers as we have here, financial reporting, audit and assurance, taxation, performance management, PSAF, and corporate strategic management and ethics, you will be writing 5. You'll be writing 5 going forward. You'll be writing 5. Initially, it was 4, but now, according to the new syllabus released March 2021, you'll be writing 5, and that will be without audit and assurance. For ATS, that is for AAT, accounting technicians. So part of the courses that AATs have taken in the past also include the taxation and then the audit and assurance. So for AAT certificate holders of ICAN, you'll be starting from the skill level as well. You'll be exempted from writing the foundation level. You'll be starting from the skills level by writing 4 papers, excluding audit and assurance and taxation. That's for AAT, accounting technician, or accounting technician or associate accounting technician. So for people from different fields like chemical engineering, law, and what have you, and you're interested in becoming a chartered accountant, you'll be starting from foundation. There is no exemption for you. You'll be starting from foundation because it is believed that you don't have accounting background. So you'll be starting from foundation. In terms of, for those of us with qualifications like BSc, HND, banking and finance, marketing, we'll be starting from foundations with 2 papers as well. So and that's it. For more information, we can always check through the ICAN website for more information on that. So there are also specific exemptions according to the new ICAN. Sorry. According to the new ICAN syllabus, there are also some special exemptions which include the one for the mutual cooperation agreement with tertiary institutions that ICANN has with some institutions. For those that have graduated from such schools, including Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, yes, I'm aware of Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, I'm aware of Babcock and some other institutions. You'll be starting from the professional level. You'll be exempted from both the skill foundation level and the skills level of ICANN examination. You'll be starting from the professional level and pay a total exemption fee of 119,000 naira as of today. Yeah, the prices varies. You should know that as of today. So for some of us with BSc HND obtained from ICANN accredited institution, we have said it before that you'll be writing 5 papers in skills, excluding audit and assurance, and the exemption fee is currently at 79,000 naira. And then for those of us in the related field like banking and finance and what have you, yeah, you'll be exempted from you'll be writing 2 papers with exemptions from some other papers. So, and then our exemption fee is 34,900 for that. And then currently these are for registration. For registration fee, you register 7,000 naira to become a student member. That's for the registration, and you submit the initial document that I've mentioned, including your O-level results, birth certificate, and what have you. So the current examination fee stood at this, as you can see my screen, 41,000 naira for 4 papers in foundation, 71,700 for the 6 papers in skills, and then 79,450 for the papers and professionals. And currently, examination portal for November 2021 is opened and will be closing by Tuesday, 9th of November 2021. As the examination dates will be between 16th and 18th of November 2021. So, and here we have the credit system. The ICANN credit system, each time you write an exam, the pass mark is 50%. The pass mark is 50%. And each time you write the exam and you score 50% and above, you have your credit for each papers that you've passed. You have a pass credit for that. And then it should be noted that you are meant to complete the exams, that is the professional level, within a period of 10 diets. That is, within a period of 10 diets, you are meant to complete the exams. After which, failure to do so will mean that you'll be losing the credit earned for previous papers that you've passed, and then you probably have to start again. Again, the pass mark is 50%. So we have student subscription as well. We have student subscription, and then a minimum of 4,000 naira per year for student subscription. And then we have the tuition and tuition period. Yeah, so it is relatively advisable that students start preparation early. You start to attend tutorial early enough, and then student tuition fees actually varies from different locations and then as varies from levels to level as well. So yeah, it is advisable that you attend lectures, because the fact that information will be shared at the lecture center, as you'll be trained by qualified tutors who will guide you on what you need to know. Yeah, so there are some tricks to these things, and then you are expected, or it is advisable that you start attending lectures not less than 4 months before you go ahead to sit for the exams. Yeah, and then relevant materials. Yes, so there are relevant materials that are advised, but primarily it is advisable that you start your studies with your ICANN material given to you, the ICANN materials. You can also find ICANN materials on the ICANN website, and also for ATS, it's called Insights. That's the past questions. try as much as possible to familiarize yourself with the past questions. And for the professional levels, it's called pathfinders. As much as possible, get yourself acquainted with the pathfinders. Primarily, ICAN materials in terms of the study text, and then the pathfinders or insight should be sufficient as study materials. However, as you deem fit, you can always consider other study materials. Yeah, so we have the ICAN scholarship scheme for graduates and students as well. The ICAN scholarship scheme, the main one that many people are not aware of is the fact that there is a scholarship scheme for students that is the best student in your year one in different schools. Why at year one, the best student in the class has an ICAN scholarship or have access to ICAN scholarship. We'll still get to the breakdown of those scholarship. These are the terms and conditions of the scholarship. The scholarship covers your tuition fees and provision of study packs. And also it is expected that you pass each level at 2 consecutive diets. Otherwise, you'll be forfeiting the scholarship. Also, ICAN will pay for each scholarship once. So if you fail a paper, ICAN is not paying for that. So it is expected that scholars pass or strive to pass their papers at each sitting. So there is previously there used to be a refund for tuition fee, but currently there is no longer there's no longer a refund for tuition fees covered in the scholarship. Scholars who do not pass any level within approved 2 consecutive diets are to forfeit the scholarship. Yeah, so if you are not passing, definitely you are going to forfeit the scholarship. And that's that. And most importantly, it should be noted that you are eligible to apply for this scholarship not more than 2 years after graduating. Yes, so these are the categories of scholarship that we have. We have the gold scholarship for the best graduating student in any ICAN accredited institution studying accounting or accountancy program. Yes. Then we have the diamond scholarship. This is for first class distinction graduates of ICAN institution, irrespective of this course of study, to write the professional exam of the institute. Then we have the silver scholarship. And that's the first one I mentioned that. That's for the best student in year one of any ICAN accredited institution studying accounting or accountancy program to start the ATS1. And I think many people do miss out these ones. So I would like to implore us to relate these to some of our colleagues or some of our wards in the year one in various ICAN accredited institutions to strive to become the best students while at the year one. Or if you know any best students in their classes, let them utilize this scholarship so as to start their program early enough. So to qualify for this scheme, that is the ICAN scholarship scheme, of course, you need to be registered as a student. And then, of course, you need to claim necessary exemptions. If you are going to be exempted, then requirements for application letters. Of course, you need to submit an application letter and a recommendation letter from your school, recommendation letter from ICAN District Society, and your BSc or HND results. Yeah. So as it is currently, a total of 150 spaces are available for the scheme per annum to be shared on first come first served basis as it is. So we have various ICAN exam centers in Lagos or across the country. Yeah, we have them. So regardless of where you are, there are tuition centers you can always check out. And given the situation of things now, COVID and what have you, you even have access to take online courses or online lectures and the likes. So, and then recent circulars issued by ICAN, it should be noted that the exam for November diet has been slated between 16th, that's Tuesday, and 18th of November 2021, and examination registration will be commencing by 15th of June, and has commenced already, 15th of June, and closes by 9th of November. And so, also, it should be noted that the new ICAN November Diet professional exam will be based on the new ICAN syllabus launched March 2021. Yeah, you can always visit ICAN website for more detail on that. Students are advised, yes, of course, we all know that it is advisable to keep your personal belongings away because, of course, nobody is responsible or going to be looking after your personal belongings. And of course, examination rules and regulation are to be adhered to, strictly adhered to, including wristwatches are no longer allowed in the examination hall. And as stated, wall clocks will be provided for anyone who needs, of course, in all centers. Of course, we all know that professional exams like this, even school exams, mobile phones or incriminating materials are not allowed, strictly prohibited. In fact, for ICAN, 1000% prohibited, you know. And then, yeah, so also it should be noted that refunds or deferment of examination are no longer allowed or are not allowed. And finally, read as if it depends on reading and pray as if it depends on prayer and success are on your way. While I cap it up, let me tell you the beautiful part of my stories that I started. I said, as a then after my 8 years, I started earning 50,000 naira. Trust me, by the time I moved till date, it should be shocking to many of you that I still don't have my BSc. I have my ICAN. I'm a chartered accountant, and anywhere I go to, once everybody hears that is a chartered accountant, I get the job. And what's funny about it, immediately after I got my ICAN final, after I passed my ICAN exam final, from 50,000 naira, I got a salary, a different job who pays over 200,000 naira per month. Subsequently, currently, that's like 2018. Currently, my side hustles alone, just because I'm a chartered accountant, earns me not less than 200,000 naira per month, not to talk of what I earn as salary, being a chartered accountant and even without BSc. So people say there's no job, there's no job. Trust me, if you have access to the right information and you have the right technical know-how and technical skills that ICAN will be giving to you, or you having ICAN, going through ICAN examinations will be given to you, trust me, the sky is the starting point and not the limit. Thank you for listening. Any question?
Thank you very much. Kudos for that wonderful presentation. It's a good one. It's a great one. We really enjoy it, and I'm sure that's straight to the point as regards what we are here for today. Yes, we have been gathering questions, and people have been sending in their questions. But before questions, there are also two areas I want to mention in here in addition to what you have said. And that is one. The first one is that students need to know that once they register for ICAN examinations, once they register for ICAN examinations and they have not written exams, then they have started owing subscriptions. Some students do not really know this. Once you register, for instance, in year 2020, and you do not write exams in year 2020, and you want to write exams in year 2022, by that, you're already owing 3 years subscriptions, and ICAN will not allow you to write exams until you clear that indebtedness. That's the first one. The second one is that in terms of how to answer questions too, our students also need to know how to answer ICAN questions. Although I will just give a hint regarding that today. We may be organizing another session for us to get a better understanding of how to answer ICAN questions. But a quick one is for May diet, taxation question in May diet, May 2021 diet. We have question 3C. Can you all see my screen? Hello, can you see my screen?
Not yet. You need to reshare. You need to reshare your screen, please.
Okay. I'm trying to share screen. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
it
see
has
it
come.
now. We
Okay.
can see it now.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. A quick one at what I'm trying to say. Having been an assessor for ICAN for the past 4 years, I want to explain to you as regards how ICAN set questions and how they mark and how we should answer questions as students. Now, look at this question 3C. State the penalties payable by employers who fail to file returns of emolument paid to employees in the preceding year on January 31st of each year with the relevant tax authority. I take it again. State the penalties payable who fail to file returns of emolument paid to employees in the preceding year on January 31st of each year with the relevant tax authority. 8 marks is allocated to this. Anyone could just think, if you know as a student, that the answer to this is individual, the penalty for individual is 50,000 naira, and the penalty for corporate entity is 500,000 naira. But if you answer this question this way, you will just be getting 2 marks out of the 8 marks. Why? This is the marking guide, and the marking guide is saying that 2 marks for the due date of filing. That in responding to that question, you need to first state the due date of filing and information to be disclosed. If you do that, you get 2 marks. Secondly, if you mention the documents to be attached to the return, you get 2 marks. If you now go to this to mentioning the penalties, you get 2 marks for corporate entity. You also get 2 marks for individual. But one who doesn't know will just go straight to mention the penalties, and by that, you only be getting 4 marks. Like I mentioned, we will be coming later when the exam is closer to tell you more about this as regards how to answer ICAN questions. Without wasting your time, we'll now quickly go into the next section of the program, which we call TIES 2021. That is Toby Abiola ICAN Scholarship. And to present that is LGM Amos Tomemowo, FCA. Over to you, LGM Amos.
Good evening, distinguished colleagues. Give me the privilege to stand on existing. Good evening, the privilege to start on existing protocol. The lead ON, the FSB chairman, my colleagues in the GM Council, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for taking time to be part of this August program happening in July. You are all welcome, and it's going to be great. Yes, the moderator, the speaker, the fallback, this is just to bring it to your fore what is happening in the TIES. That is Toby Abiola ICAN Scholarship Scheme. Toby Abiola has a lot of scholarship, and this one concerns ICAN as it were, and the JM Academy saddled with the responsibility of education in ICAN under the Joint Mind International has been handling this for a while. Next slide, please. Thank you, sir. This informally, this scholarship scheme has started even before 2017, informally, but in 2017, it became so formal and it became so noticeable. And that is why we are bringing it to everybody. We are not limited by size or by your location or your education background. If you are the leader of Joint Mind International and chairman of Joint Mind Council has been sponsoring people for other programs. And when it comes to DBIs, and it places premium on ICAN activities. You agree with me that this was formally established in 2017, and the first set of beneficiaries was in 2018. And of course, from down till date, people have been enjoying this. The major objective is to provide financial support for members of Joint Mind International, who wish to remember Joint Mind International. Joint Mind Club has been training students, accounting students to become chartered accountant from year 2000, and it has continued, and it can only get better. So, as it stands, with this program has produced a lot of chartered accountants, and there are testimony to this. Next slide, please. Yes, like you've heard about the scheme, we have currently the scheme is focusing on professional level. And on the professional level, we are talking of the foundation, the scale, and of so he has set aside funds to disabled members of Joint Mind International to assist them. And I want to believe some of you probably you'll be hearing, oh, it's for people in Oshogbo or for Lagos. No, we are here to educate you, to tell you that Joint Mind International, as long as you belong to this, irrespective of where you are, your background, you are a disabled member. And of course, to qualify, there are some prerequisites. It covers both examination. Please note this, unlike ICAN, it covers both examination and tuition. However, the tuition will only be refunded having gotten attendance, and you come back and you pass that level, then we give you your tuition. Do you want me to take that again? Unlike ICAN that covers only examination, this one covers both exam and tuition. But the tuition will not be paid immediately. You pay the period that will make a refund when you pass that diet. Then, of course, another criteria is we conduct, because you know what it means. Oh, this is exam. We are having 500 applicants, and we have slot for probably 200, or as the case may be, less than the applicant. Of course, we have a way of pruning them that we conduct a mock examination. And of course, after that, we do a final selection. And please, may I say this too, your participation if you are a Joint Mind member, your participation in your local chapter counts. There are some Joint Mind that even though your employer don't even know you. There are some GM, maybe your high com doesn't even know you. You've even graduated for the past, nobody knows you. You know, this, you must be able to satisfy some of these conditions, if not all, for you to be part of this. Next slide, please. Yes. If you are interested, this thing, you can access it. There is a form you can get, you can download. It's a Joint Mind Academy, a JMI Academy at jointmindinternational.com. Just send, there is going to be just send a request to this BND, HND, or AAT, you know, with your exemption certificate, a copy. These are the documents you need. You need your ND, you need your HND. Now, let's assume you don't even have an HND, you don't have an ND. Let me now say this. Some of us probably we've gotten an ND in one of the Joint Mind, one of the schools that have Joint Mind presence, and you now move to another university. You now have a BSc. You are not out of this place. You are not out of this. Of course, you must have gotten your exemption letter, a copy of exemption letter for somebody who has not written before, and you are just coming in fresh, and a copy of your ICAN last result if you've written before. You win that copy, you want to know the level you are writing or the level you've written. And of course, you must provide us, you must, like the moderator said earlier, if you are registering now, and you intend to write exam in 2025, please note that you've owed ICAN for the whole of that period, and you must come back to tell us that all this time, this is a clean bill that I'm not owing ICAN a dime. That means you must have paid all your exemption up to date. With that in place, these are the conditions you satisfy before we can look into you and say, no, you deserve this thing and you can be given consideration. Then on this clarification, the title does not cover registration. Please note, for you to say, oh, I want to go and register for ICAN, Toby Abiola ICAN scholarship does not cover it. and it doesn't cover exemption. The first speaker has educated us on the number, on the amount you pay and not the rest. So this one, it covers your examination and of course your tuition. That is it. Before now, tuitions are paid up front. Yes, I can say conveniently, tuitions are paid up front. With effect from November diet, tuition will only be claimed after passing the respective diet on which presentation of tuition center attendance. You have not because you can't read you must have attended the class. You must produce evidence that you attended, and you must produce that this is my receipt, and because you haven't passed the diet. Then the one will be announced. Today is the second day in the month of June. Come next week, we are going to advertise for the November diet. Please watch out and don't be left out. I beg you. It's not for any particular set. It's not for Lagos. It's not for Ado. It's not for Ilari. It's not for Yabatech. Come in and participate as long as you're a member of the. So beneficiary will be picked via a mock exam and rating of academic performance. You know, scholarship is for scholars. So we try as much as possible to break the gap. Oh, so on this note, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Tomewe Olafusi. People call me Babane, the director of Forum Services Joint Point International. Thank you for listening. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Amos Babane, for that wonderful presentation on Toby Abiola ICAN scholarship. So at this junction, we want to take questions and answers. Questions. I think I've just seen one question on the chat box, and possibly we could allow people to ask questions directly since they are here. So if you have questions, you can raise your hand digitally. If you want to ask questions and you're here, you can raise your hand digitally. We'll cite you and we'll ask you to unmute your mic so that you can ask questions. But quickly, the first question I have here in the chat box, that question was asked by Shosonya Odunayo. And his question, these are questions, because I'm not sure of the gender, is what are the provisions on ground for people who didn't study accounting at all? I mean, someone from a science department. Okay, anyway, Kudu said that when he was presenting, but let him quickly also expatiate further so that I can get that.
Briefly, someone with no accounting background will be starting from foundation. That is the professional level of the ICAN examination scheme. Rather than starting from ATS, you'll be starting from foundation so as to get the required knowledge of accounting. Then you continue from there. That's just it briefly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Omolara Eni, you are raising your hand. Omolara Eni, can you unmute your mic and ask a question? Omolara Eni. Omolara Eni.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Fine, sir. My question is, 5 years ago, I registered as an ICAN student. And since then, I've not written any of the exams. So, though I'm supposed to start with the skills level, but I've not written any exams. So I want to know if that registration is still stand, or do I need to register if I want to start now?
Okay, that's so little. Babane, quickly to that question, sir.
Yes, sir. Omolara, thank you for your question. Yes, that registration still stands. As a matter of fact, you don't, if you go back to you want to register, system will pick you. However, you will do,
okay.
Yes, however, from the very day you register up to now, your account has been debited. So for you to enjoy, yes. Yes. And no, and another side of it is that the new syllabus has actually caught you. Probably if you've registered and have some paper passed, who knows, things like audit and probably some of them will have given way. But as we speak now, since you've not registered, the new syllabus has caught you and you have to comply with all the provisions of the new syllabus. So your registration, as a matter of fact, even when it's years back is still valid.
Okay.
I don't know if I've answered your question.
Okay,
Yes,
so thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Another question from Wisdom Odusonya, if I get that name correctly. See, for those of us still write 8 years, how do we get the beneficiaries of the scholarship? Wisdom,
Yeah.
are you a JM member? Okay, if yes, anyway, Babane has mentioned it. The present scholarship, which of the scholarship are you talking about? Is it TIES or ICAN?
If it is ICAN, yes, you can still get that is, you have to be the best graduating or the best qualifying AAT by the time you are writing your ACS3. Strive to be the best graduating or the best qualifying AAT. You'll be eligible for ICAN scholarship by the time you are writing your professional levels. That's just it briefly.
Okay. Then if the person is referring to Toby Abiola's ICAN scholarship, for now, like Babane mentioned, Toby Abiola ICAN scholarship is only for professional students. It's only for professional students. So it only covers skills and professional level, not 8 years for now. Babane, is that it, sir?
Very correct, sir. Very
Thank
correct.
You. Thank
However,
you, sir.
we are looking at way of making it, but for now, that is what is on ground. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, sir. Another person, Shosonya Odunayo. Can someone with upper credit also register for the scholarship? Because scholarship are just for scholars. I'm sure the person is referring to the ICAN scholarship, which has been defined to be for best graduating and for first class and distinction.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Sir.
Okay.
You
Okay,
see,
sir.
we have situations where we have the best graduating student in a particular, in a particular school may not even be, it's relative now. Why some could make as much as 4.9 something. The best could be 4.2. Let me say that. In the word best is what is used. It's not benchmarked. It's not that you must be 4.9 or 2. The word best is what is used. And you see it's in categories. Is it diamond? Is it silver? Is it gold? As it is. So in some schools, the best graduation could even be 4.3, 4.5. Why in some, you understand? So the word best is what, so let people just identify what is said here, and not that if you are already if you are an upper credit or distinction, as the case may be, it's only you've not put much effort, you will probably be the best if you are not. Well, that means you are very cerebral and you know what you are doing, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Olalekan Adebola, your hand is up. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Olalekan Adebola. Olalekan Adebola.
Okay, yeah, good afternoon, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, yeah, Kudus, thank you so much for that explanation. But what I want to ask, I've registered for November, that's my skills exam. But when I went to ICAN office for my study pack, the one they gave me was that's the previous study pack. And I was even told that the reason why I can't get the new study pack is because it's just they have not produced it. So Kudus, I want you to guide me because I'm preparing for my personal study. So how will I because I was able to get 2 study pack and I have other study pack, that's the soft copy. So how will I do my preparation with the 2019, that's the old study pack? That's just what I wanted to explain.
Okay.
So briefly, it is advisable, since you have access to the soft copies of the new syllabus, that is study pack that contains the new syllabus, it is advisable that you get what's it called, the syllabus, that is the content of the new syllabus, right? What has been changed or what has changed. It is advisable that you get that right. Then you can use supplementary study packs to cover for what has changed. Do you get? So you can get for FR, you can get something like teach yourself IFRS, teach yourself group accounts. For PM, you can get Adeniji and what have you. Basically, I would advise that you get supplementary study packs to cover for the lapses.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Godwin Uchibo, if you have asked your question, you can put your hands down so that we can know those who are still raising their hands. Lekon, you can put your hands down now. Godwin Uchibo.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, bro.
Yeah, I want to know the new topics that have been added to SFM.
The new topics added to SFM. Anyway, we will share the new syllabus with you.
Let me just say this.
Okay.
The SFM is by the day growing. Before now, we don't have things like black and school. Before now, you don't, the extent at which I can flex futures and options is less. Swap is less. What is this? Commodity trading and the rest of them is less. But now there is much emphasis on this area. There is much emphasis, and that is one of the areas where there is a little variance with what is so all those variances, portfolio and they are still there. But now they test more on some of these things because it's the new thing coming in. I think those are the areas you need to watch out on, and probably there is no much the old syllabus or the old textbooks. They are very good, but some of them don't treat this very well. So you can just leverage on the few available textbooks in this aspect. But sincerely, there had not been entirely new. It's just a little flesh on some of those areas that I've just mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Babane. Thank you very much. I think in addition to, you can also lay your hands on that syllabus, on the new syllabus, so that you can also see for better understanding. The last question we'll take for today, because of our time, is still coming from Julius Oluwole. So I registered in 2013 and made an attempt to write the examination in 2014, but did not make it and need have not made any attempts since due to financial issue. If I'm to write November 2021 diet, am I going to write the old syllabus or the new syllabus? I think that's a very direct question. That's a very direct question.
Sorry, sir. Apart from being direct, before then, there is another thing you need to look at, the issue of MCAT. Some of these schools before now were not on MCAT. Now some of them are. But be very careful. As at the time you left that school, was there MCAT in place? If no, you are going to write, of course, no syllabus, you are going to write the 5 or sitting a scale. You won't enjoy MCAT. But if you left when the school has actually embraced MCAT and everything is in place, you are going to enjoy the MCAT. That is another thing they didn't put in. So I have to put in that so that he knows what is ahead. But when it comes to every other thing, is still the same. And I'm sure by 2017, as at the time you register, there was, I doubt if Ilaro has had MCAT. But now I think I know Ilaro is on MCAT.
But Babane, sorry, there is still more part of the question which I want us to drive home. The question is, am I to write November diet? You want to write November diet? Am I going to write it based on the old syllabus or new syllabus?
New syllabus, of course.
Exactly.
New syllabus. Nothing like, oh, are you going to test the old syllabus in November diet? So, Mr. Kudus.
No, not at all. New syllabus, of course. New syllabus.
New
because
syllabus,
the knowledge is expected to be
used
contemporarily.
So that is, and probably that would be a price for not starting early, sir.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
Mr. Moderator, sir, there is one more last question I would like us to briefly address. Just one. Okay. Someone says here that I registered as 8-year student 21 years ago. I'm an HND graduate 8 years ago, and I go to register again, or am I to go register again and pay all the annual due till date as an HND graduate from FPI? Am I starting from skill or professional? Briefly, 8 years and ICAN are distinct. Sure. So registering for 8 years, 20-something years ago, that's for 8 years. If you haven't written it, fine. Now, if you want to write ICAN as an HND graduate, you go with your HND and register as an ICAN member. That is the professional student member. So that's what you register as now. So you have a new registration number. 8 years registration does not cover ICAN professional level registration. So you register as a new student, and then you continue from skills.
Thank you very much, Cruz. I think that is a very good explanation regarding that question. That's a very good one. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this note.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, from me, the last one, there was a question for somebody who is not an accounting graduate, this and that. May I say this? If in the course you studied engineering, and in the course of that, you've done things like MBA and some other things, you go like that. If you are coming to ICAN, definitely you are not likely to be viewed as somebody who has done a non-engineering course. That your postgraduate in MBA or any business related will count for you. So by that, you will enjoy some subject by subject exemption, even when engineering is your background. Okay. So let's have this in mind. Even when you are a medical doctor, you have an MBA, you are likely to enjoy some other exemption. You know, it may not be full, so you may not be able to have all the, you may be exempted from some of the courses in the foundation. That is all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm sure nobody will come back for any question at this point in time again, because our times are past spent. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this session. So we'll be calling on the FSB chairman for our closing remark, LGM Binga OBDG, for his closing remark. Over to you, my FSB chairman, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. It's been quite an incisive session. I am sure those who are present have taken one thing or the other out of the program. Let me quickly just add or state this. The Toby Abiola ICAN scholarship scheme has started about 4 or 5 years ago. And up till the last diet, the scholarship scheme was paying out both tuition and exam fees. But it was discovered that some of the awardees treated it with levity. They saw it as free meal and were not being serious about it. So, and that's why the change in operation or the change in procedure that now makes, okay, though the scholarship will still register, you give you the money for registration for the exam, but you'll be expected to attend the tuition house. If you intend to do that, you will need to send in evidence of attendance even while you are attending, not after the exam. Once you have been graded as qualified for the scholarship scheme, you need to send evidence that you are attending lectures. So now, because you have a stake, you know that if you pass, you will get a refund of your tuition fee. It's supposed to be a wake-up call. It's not meant to be a punishment. The scheme is not going back on its word, but it means to just give you a stake in the whole thing. Because before now, both tuition and exams are paid. Sometimes people don't go to lectures. They just come back with abysmal results. So to guide against that, that's why from November diet, the scholarship, though it covers both tuition and exam, but tuition will only be paid or refunded upon successful passing of the exam. So I want us to please note that. Secondly, the scholarship scheme is open to all JMs, either JMA or JMs or LJMs or JMI, from any chapter, from any lineage. There's no discrimination. Once you're qualified, you apply, and once you pass through the process and you are selected, you have the scholarship. On the other hand, the scheme is also now moving towards, at the last 8 years induction, which was done, I think, this week, early this week, the Joint Mines International instituted some awards. The same thing with the lead doyen for ATS 1 and ATS 2. So all the award winners have now been brought into the scheme. So they too have the opportunity, once they get into the professional level, of having access to the scholarship scheme. We also need to let you know that plans are underway to have the JMI Academy as a tuition house of its own, so that we can take in or take on more members and more students to benefit from the resources that are available under the scheme. I need to also note this, and I feel that council members, especially club service directorate members of Joint Minds International, should know this. I was watching the attendance, and I realized that the major focus of this training, of this awareness, were current JMs and recently graduated JMs. Most of them were not on this program. So that I just wanted to record, so that by the time the academy is taking decisions, they will not think that people are windjunting them. This awareness was organized primarily and with the focus of current members and immediate past members in mind. I am aware that the club currently has 10 chapters of nothing less than at least 20 to 23 members. So if all JMs, let's even remove the JMAs, if all the JMs, current JMs are logged on to this program, we should have 230 members. But they were not here, and so we need to put it on record. For those who are here, I want to say congratulations. No knowledge is wasted. Thank you for staying tuned. If you have any other question, please send your inquiries to jmiacademy@jointmindsinternational.com, and you'll be attended to. Either you are a member of Joint Minds International or you are not a member. We're there to encourage you, to mentor you, so that you can realize your dream of being chartered accountant. So while the scholarship is meant for, the JMI scholarship is meant for members alone, our mentoring scheme is open to all. Either you are a member of the Joint Minds International or you are not. If you have any need for guidance, for mentoring, you have questions to ask, you need clearance on anything that has to do with ICAN, please just send a mail to jmiacademy@jointmindsinternational.com. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, my FSB chairman, for that great closing remark. Now, without much ado, I have the pleasure to bring on board the registrar, JMI Academy, for her vote of thanks. LGM Abosede Ogunjobi, FCA. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Tosin. Thanks, everyone. It's been quite an insightful session. A lot has been clarified around registration, exemption, the credit system, the subscription, the ICAN scholarship, and of course, the new syllabus. On behalf of the JMI Academy, I want to say a very big thank you to the lead doyen of Joint Minds International and the chairman of council, LGM Tobi Abiola, FCA, FCTI, for his for being here with us this evening. I also want to say a very big thank you to our FSB chairman, LGM Benga Omidiji, FCA, FCTI, for his contributions and assistance in making this program a huge success. I also want to say a very big thank you to all members of the JMI Academy for putting this together, even at very short notice. I also want to thank the council members of Joint Minds Club. I want to thank all the Joint Mind members and all our friends all over Nigeria for joining this program. I want to say thank you very much and wish that when next we come for the next session, you would join us. On this note, I say thank you and have a very good weekend ahead. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you very much, my able registrar, for that vote of thanks. We thank you all our audience for this, and we'll be closing with the GMI Club song. GMI Club song, sir.
Let amongst us, let there be love in our heart. Let Now this love fill this nation. Also, Lord, to arise, give us a fresh understanding of
brotherly love that is real. Let there be love